hello to my 11 new subscribers. Welcome to Yorkshire. Here we go with the second video on the channel. Being completely honest with you, I thought when I uploaded that last video it'd probably get maybe 10, 15 views. Some hardcore Fantic fans out there. But instead it reached over 1,000 people, 1,000 eyeballs on my channel watching my videos. How strange. So with that being said, I thought I'd better stick another video up since I've got fans now. And since that last video I have been out and I've purchased a GoPro to get some new angles and whatnot. So here we go, riding through the Yorkshire countryside with a better camera setup. So yeah, as I have to say, didn't quite expect to get so many views on my last video. It's either because there's quite a few people out there that like this bike and are interested in the Fantic, or I am an incredible creator, influencer. Unlikely. But yeah, I thought I'd do another video, mainly because it's nice and I wanted to go out for a ride, but if I can get some content while I'm doing it, so be it. And as all small YouTubing channels tend to do when they can't think of what else to talk about, I thought I'd do a 5 things I love. Oi, nearly just got knocked off by a pheasant. 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about this bike. Now, spoiler alert, there is really not much I don't like about this bike, so that should be quite quick, if I can even think of anything anyway. God, it's quite windy today actually, so sorry if you're struggling to hear me with my new mic setup. But I'm just going to be thinking off the top of my head as we go. I've not planned this video at all, I've not really put any thought into it, to be honest with you, so apologies for that. But sometimes I think candid thoughts are probably better than a scripted video. This is me genuinely talking about this bike as I see it. I guess if I start with the things I don't like about this bike, which, as I say, it really isn't much, but maybe the seating position. It's quite far forward leaning. Get a bit of a numb arse if you're on the bike for hours on end, which you probably wouldn't be anyway with this style of bike. But just something to be aware of if you're looking for a tourer to do lots of long trips on. This is probably not the bike for you. But when you get to the destination, it's worth it. You know, if you're going on a long ride just to get to somewhere nice so you can ride around there, then fair enough. But I wouldn't buy this for long road trips. On that subject, the fuel tank is quite small, having to top up quite a lot. Don't get too many miles out of it. Again, I mean, after you've been in this seat for maybe a couple of hours, you probably want to get off and stretch your legs and top up anyway, so that's not the end of the world. It's big enough for nice rides like this. Not actually measured how far you get on a tank, so apologies, not very factual information that I'm giving you here, but just take my word for it that you don't get too far on a single tank. God, look at these views. I have no idea if my camera settings are any good, so you might just be seeing a big white wash of sunlight and not actually any hills and blue sky like I can see. I did ask ChatGPT what settings I should use on this camera and it said all sorts of things which mean nothing to me. ISO and frame rate and all sorts. Also, I've not got an ND filter, whatever an ND filter is, which some YouTuber I saw said is essential if I'm going to be out and about filming, but hopefully you can see something. Anyway, back to things I don't like about this bike. What else don't I like? I don't like how it comes as standard. That's a big thing. Obviously, if you watched the last video, you know that I did a few modifications to this straight away. So, put the Anarchy Wild tyres on it, just give it that scrambler look. I got rid of the bar mirrors, put a tail tidy on it, which is extremely ugly. Sorry, it was ugly prior to doing that. I think those are essential modifications in my opinion. You might like the bike as standard, if so, fair enough. And then probably last thing I don't like about this bike is sometimes when you're overtaking, you just want that extra little bit of power. I mean, obviously it having a smaller engine is also a pro in the fact that it's lightweight and nimble and can go off-road and stuff, but the downside to that is that sometimes it is just lacking a little bit of power getting up to speed when you want to overtake. Oh, look at these views. Cows! Hello, cows! So yeah, lack of power is maybe just one thing to be aware of. But yeah, other than that, really not much about this bike that I don't like, especially now I've got it the way that I want it. So if I move on to things I do like about the bike, which is a much longer list, so hopefully I'll be able to spend a bit more time talking about that. Firstly, the obvious one is the looks. So a few other bikes I was looking at, as I mentioned, the Triumph Scrambler. Specifically, I think it's a French company that do a sort of scrambler kit to go on it. I think it's called Back. I'll put a picture up on the screen now of that bike. Love the look of that, and actually it was that kind of led me to this. When I saw this Fantic, it was a bike that most resembled that. Obviously far cheaper. I think that's probably triple the price with the kit than this bike, so this is like the Temu or Wish version of that bike, but got to go with what budget is available. I don't think my fiance would appreciate me spending 15 grand on a bike right now, so needs must. But yeah, the styling of this bike is what really drew me to it, to be honest with you, which is a bit of a, I don't know, self-centered thing to base buying a bike on, but it is what it is. And I think a few people agree with me, maybe why I got quite a few views on the last video. And since I've had this bike in the last sort of, what, 8 weeks, I've probably had 4 instances of just being pulled over somewhere and someone comes up to me and asks me about the bike and taking photos of it, which is quite crazy, to be honest, because they're always very surprised when I tell them how affordable this bike is. So I think Fantic have really nailed it with the styling of this bike. Hats off to the designers there. Good work, gentlemen and gentlewomen. So yeah, that's number one. Number two is just how easy it is to ride. I know it sounds like a stupid thing to say, because once you know how to ride a bike, you know how to ride all bikes, but it's so lightweight, so you can just, as I'm doing now, flick it about. So easy just to turn around, you know. Heavy bikes, just doing a 3-point turn feels like such a chore. You're getting your bike sweating before you've even left your driveway. This is just so sort of easy and manageable, which just makes it a joy to ride as well. I came from a Honda CB F650 before this, which I don't know why I said in my last video. Actually, I came from a Yamaha. I didn't. I came from a Honda CB F650, which was a lot more powerful than this, maybe a bit more fun in the straight line, but not on corners, because it was so much heavier. There's so much more forward planning that is required, a lot more concentration to be safe on the road, whereas this, because it's so light, it's like riding almost like a push bike but with an engine. You don't really have to think as much. Obviously you do still need to concentrate whenever you're on a motorbike, but this is just like fun, friendly bike. I would definitely recommend this for somebody who's maybe just passed their test, even though this wasn't my first bike after I passed my test, but probably should have been actually, because I've learned a lot more riding this. So yeah, that's the second thing I would say about this, the size and weight and how easy it is to just do this. Pop a wheelie, quite easy. I won't do it now because I'll probably end up in the boot of that car. But third thing is, sort of touched on it already, but the price. You get so much standard on this bike for the price. It's pretty crazy really. Lovely TFT display, which hopefully you can make out. Hello biker friend, didn't give me a nod, rejection. But yeah, the price, so I paid just under £6 for this, £6,000 here in the UK, and like I say, nice TFT display, really clear to read, which I think only came on this 2025 year. This is not the one, the new 2025 one with the new Italian made engine. Somebody pulled me up in the comments for that in the last video, so sorry about that, sir. Didn't mean to mislead anyone, but this is a 2025 model year with a 25 plates. It's just not the new one, which I think is coming out later this year. But you get an arrow exhaust, you get nice big gold forks on it, you get what else do you get? Don't know. You get this nice little Fantic crash bar thing. Number four. What are we going with for 4? Probably just how simple it is. Like I say, it's pretty analog bike. There's no, well actually I think there is a all-terrain setting and a wet setting, but all that literally does is probably just your traction control on and off, because you can do a bit of off-roading on this bike. But other than that, it's, I mean, and it's not, you know, corner sensitive ABS or anti-wheelie or anything really. It's just super simple, just get on, plug and play. Manual, a lot of response to your input, which is nice I think on a bike. So there's that. Number 5 is how versatile I think this bike is, especially now I've put these Anarchy Wild tyres on. There's been a few times when I've gone down gravel tracks and stuff and it just still feels great, really sort of in control. Got sort of big forks in the front, it's got quite good suspension at the back, at the rear, so you can kind of take it on the road like I am now, or you can do a bit of off-roading. I mean, it's not a proper off-roader as such, but it does the job. And then look, getting up to speed here, nice and easy, smooth on the throttle. So yeah, it does everything. Commuting, it's absolutely perfect. You can just bobble along at 60-70 miles an hour if you do have some big A roads or motorways on your commute. Equally, going through little villages like this. It's got a nice sounding engine as well. Was one thing I was sort of worried about. I touched on it in my last video. Obviously it's a single cylinder. Who wants a single cylinder? That's what I thought anyway. I wanted a twin at least, and that's actually why I got my first bike, because it was a 4-cylinder and they sound lovely. But obviously you don't really get scramblers with a 4-cylinder. I don't think it would make much sense really. But so yeah, that was the thing that held me back from this bike for so long, a single cylinder. He gave me a little look. Hopefully he was checking out my nice bike. But yeah, actually the sound of this bike is absolutely fine, to be honest. I don't know if you can hear it, I don't know if you can even hear my own voice. I don't have a clue what this mic setup is like. I just googled what microphone goes with this GoPro, and here we are. So hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully you can hear the exhaust, because it is quite nice. And they do an aftermarket one for this, made by Arrow as well, but I think it's more sort of straight through, less gubbins that slow the flow of the air, so it sounds much nicer. I was quoted about £1,200 to get that fitted by my dealer, so it might be something I do in the future. Who knows? What a lovely day to be out riding the bike. So yeah, I think those are the main points really. What's next for this channel? I've got a fancy Insta360 X5 woo on the way in the post. Don't worry, I didn't spend 600 odd quid of my hard-earned money on that just because I got a few views on my first video and then suddenly think that I'm a incredible influencer moto vlogger. I had it on order anyway. I just thought it'd be cool to get some nice shots of the bike. So when I get that, hopefully I can incorporate that into the channel, and maybe I'll do a review on that Insta360 X5, see if it's worth upgrading for anyone who's got maybe the X4 or thinking about buying a 360 camera. Like I say, I got some trips. I'm thinking maybe North Coast 500, maybe take the bike over to Europe, Isle of Man. I mean, I've got some pretty amazing places right on my doorstep living here in Yorkshire. I'm currently between Pateley Bridge and Harrogate, if anyone knows North Yorkshire. But yeah, I'll get some more videos on the bike. I just generally work on improving the quality of my videos. I'm a complete newbie, I don't have a clue what I'm doing really. I'm just kind of stuck a GoPro on my chin and went out on my bike. So, but I thought I'd start filming some videos, mainly just as a bit of a project really. Get myself on camera, nice little challenge for myself. So yeah, just work on improving the quality of my videos, get new angles, thinking of new content. I'll tell you what would be nice if we can get some more subscribers. I'm thinking way in the future and probably incredibly unlikely, but get some sponsors on the video, which again would allow me to improve the content and quality, go to new places, do new things. So if you're watching this, give me a subscribe, that would be amazing. Thank you very much. And a thumbs up. Like I say, totally surprised by the fact I got 1,200 odd views in 3 days. I was genuinely expecting to get maybe 10 views on this video. But then again, I had no idea what to expect with YouTube. I just kind of made it when I had an hour spare, with help to my new friend ChatGPT. So if you're thinking about maybe doing a video, starting a YouTube channel, go for it. It's easier than you think. Well, it's not. I'm talking as if I'm an expert. Just getting started is easier than you think. Actually being good at it is a whole new kettle of fish, or whatever the saying is. But yeah, I'm gonna some different angles on the bike now, so let's pull over and do that.